Okay, so what I did during that little interlude was went around the bottom of the robe with a V-tool, one of the few places I'll use a V-tool, and placed the line where the bottom of the robe's going to be, went all the way around it, back over here, and this is going to be a shoe to his left foot. Now I'm going to go back and put texture on all this with that number 11 15 millimeter gouge. This is how this process looks. I've got these rough out marks, I got these marker marks, got these little chip outs, and this more or less is a finishing step. It's one of the last things I do, and all I do is just take this and make little cuts. I'm wanting to give a texture, just kind of a hint that the texture is a fur texture, and I'll try to make different size circles or holes down in there, little divots, and I'll do this all around it, and I'll, like where that line is real straight, I'll go back in and do that. That's the process, and I'm going to go all the way around this thing, and I'll go up this part. Okay, and here's the final product of the robe. See how it picks up this grain? Man, I just love this butternut grain. Again, there's the foot, the where this robe goes under, this robe goes over. Still got a few little fuzzies, but you just see how it just indicates and that grain right there is nice. But that's what it is. So the bottom is kind of finished up. The last thing I'll do is smooth this part here and sign it, of course, but that'll be a little ways down the road. This will be the same technique I use on the fur that goes around the head and around the arms, so I probably won't be showing that. The other day I was able to successfully or unsuccessfully, no, it was successfully delete a lot of recording on this carving. So no way to get it back, but you hit that delete button, it'll go. I'm not the real good carver, but I'm a much better carver than I am video technician, editor, IT guy. Anyway, so I was able to do that, but here's where I stand on this right now. Got it pretty well rounded out. Kind of know what I'm going to do. Got most of the features set in, and it's not detailed yet, but I'm going to start on the detailing, and pretty close to having this done. So we'll get started on it. I'll probably have to wait till tomorrow. I'll do a little bit today, but I've got this rounded off. This is going to be a bag. I've worked on the mittens, the hand. I can see this needs to be cut down. Got the face pretty much done. I'm going to work on this little soft spot here, see what I can do for that, and figure out what I'm going to put back here in the backpack. Okay, so here's the face. I've got it all done except the wrinkles. Got the hat pretty much finished except some fine creases. Got the fur texture on it, and there you see the middle. I hadn't textured the fur up on the upper part, but you can see the line there on his glove, or on his mitten, where I'm going to carve it down, and that'll also make me carve down this part right here. That'll go down a little bit. And man, that grain on that bag, I'm going to shape the bag a little bit more, a little bit better. And there's his foot sticking out in the base. So that's where I'm at right now, and just ready to get on with this thing and get to carving a little bit more. Okay, if I can remember, look over here, I'm going to try to work inside this area where y'all can see that. It's going to be kind of hard because my left-handedness will get in the way, but right here just really adding details, and I've got to watch it so I don't cut too much because it's pretty close to where it needs to be, and you cut off too much, you can't put it back. So And just a little bit here goes a long way, and you make it the same size on this other side of the face. And just want to be careful what you take off. Still working with some gouges, and I am going to get a smaller gouge. Hope all these are sharp where I don't have to stop and sharpen them. Alright, push that bottom eyelid under the top. Liking the way that looks. This is kind of a flat sweep. I don't know, I can't even read a 6. Kind of get the brow ridge right in between the eyes, right over the nose. I'm going to go in here with a V-tool and push this lower part of the cheek back, and this should give him a little fatter cheek, make it more like a smile. But like I said, this guy isn't meant to be all broke out and happy. I want a pleasant look, not necessarily a entertained look, not a laughing look. You can see where I'm cutting over here, but I'm looking at it from the nose, getting. I think that's all for that. I like to start at the wing of the nose there and to clean this out. And this will be like hopefully be the final cut in there. Get down to this V-tool, and again, hopefully this will be the end. It adds depth and shadow because it's a deep cut. I want to separate the top from the bottom lid there and just wrap it around a little bit. And this is an exaggeration from an ultra realistic carving. And really just making a hint at the eyelid. I'm not it's deeper toward the nose over here and sharper, more defined. And really I'm just working with that, seeing how I like it, and I really don't like it right there. That's better. Now I've got this to work on because it's it needs to be curved, and I need to get a tool that'll fit in there a little bit better. I want this rounded, so I'm using a flat tool to kind of round it over, if that makes sense. Now I'm just going to put some wrinkle lines. I know this bag under his eyes. And again, want him to look mature. Don't want him to look tired. Hope y'all can see those cuts. Making them real light on the beginning. And I'm trying to think. I notice I pause a lot when I'm making these cuts, but I'm trying to think about them. Want to do it upright, but I don't want to overdo it. Apologize for working on this other side too, but it's just the way it needs to be done, or the way I'm used to doing it, the way I do it anyway. Now I'm putting some eyebrows in there, nearly said eyelashes. One thing I've never carved is eyelashes, or I didn't mean to anyway. Along with that, I'm going to get in there and carve that little flap of skin that goes over the nose, and I'm going to move this side in, and I'll stay over here. And now, like right here, coming off the nose, the guy taught me this, give away a Santa secret. If you start up here with the V tool and make a little S cut, and by S cut I mean it's shaped like a S, but not. That helps with making him look smiley, but yet not ridiculously smiley. And I'll do that on both sides. Everything I do on here, I'll do over here. I'm going to cut out the eye, a pupil, but I haven't done that yet. And also going to cut around this, just shape this ball a little bit more, separate it from his hair and his beard line. But I don't want to cut off the texturing of it. Had to move that a little bit where I could see. This gets slow, but it's where all the details, where everything comes together. You know, you just work and work on it, and then while you're doing this, it's like, oh wow, it's finished. Let's see if we can get that just a little bit better look. Just trying to cut all this under this little fur ball to where it won't look like I forgot to do it. So I'll kind of texture that with a gouge so it won't look straight and stiff. It's supposed to look like curly hair. And then I'll V-tool out this flap. And then that shows me how much to take down. Just more control using the mallet, because it's not a deep cut. That's a big piece of wood to take off at this point, but when I go through and I do this with this V-tool, I'll come back in with that smaller one. So that's got that done. Like what I was doing was working on this right here. Take that. And from here I can work on this up. On this, you can see how that's deep. It's got more of a shadow in there than this part does. This is just a gouge, and I'll run the V-tool on up there. I kind of like where that's laying. So let me do that. And again, what I'm doing is putting the V-tool. The V-tool work is to here, and then I've got this over here that I made with the gouge. And I'll just really just emphasize that. And when I get through with that, I'll go back in with the usually, it doesn't, I don't do it every time, but I usually go back in there with the smaller V-tool, because it'll just really clean up the corners and the edges. Really trying to work on carving clean, like not leaving any fuzzies on this piece, because it makes it a better carving and it makes it easier. And again, got this fur that's on the jacket or the robe. And just push that on over there. And I'll texture this. This is fur. All right, so now we've got that textured in. Most of the hair there. Got this side pretty well done. I'm going to outline the mustache right up here. If I could find that pesky V-tool. Where that mustache comes up, that's not the V-tool I want. Just want to kind of follow it up. Really just giving an indication, and I'm not even going to go all the way up with that. I'm just going to let that sit there. Put a little texture on that. And clean it out with the small V. All right, this side of the face is pretty much done, except for putting in some detail on the eye. It's kind of hard to see, but there's some V cuts there, some shadows. I'll do this side to match that, and then we'll just keep working down on this, meet there at the belt.